In what meteorologists are calling a once-in-a-generation weather event, the city of Syracuse and the surrounding Onondaga County have been effectively brought to a standstill by a relentless lake-effect snowstorm. As of the evening of January 2nd, 2026, the city, already known as the snowiest metropolitan area in the United States, is grappling with snowfall totals that have shattered century-old records, leaving tens of thousands without power and local infrastructure at a breaking point. The crisis began in the late hours of December 31st, 2025, when a massive cold front descended from the Canadian Arctic, sweeping across the unusually warm waters of Lake Ontario. The temperature gradient between the frigid air and the lake water created a perfect storm of lake-effect moisture. By New Year's Day, a stationary snow band had locked itself over the I-81 corridor, dumping snow at a staggering rate of 4 to 6 inches per hour. As of 8 p.m. tonight, the official measurement at Syracuse Hancock International Airport stands at 68 inches of snow within a 48-hour period. This surpasses the infamous blizzard of '93 and places 2026 at the top of the record books for the single greatest snowfall event in the city's history. Mayor Ben Walsh declared a state of emergency early Friday morning, issuing a mandatory travel ban for all non-essential vehicles. This is not just a typical Syracuse winter day, Walsh stated during a press briefing at the Public Safety Building, which is currently running on backup generators. The rate of snowfall has outpaced our ability to clear the primary arteries. Our plow operators are facing zero visibility conditions. We are asking everyone, stay home, stay off the roads, and stay safe. The visual landscape of Syracuse has been transformed into an alien, monochromatic world. In neighborhoods like Westcott and Sedgwick, cars have been completely subsumed by drifts, appearing only as indistinct white mounds. The iconic Carrier Dome, JMA Wireless Dome, stands as a lonely sentinel amidst the whiteout, its roof engineered to withstand such loads, yet straining under the sheer weight of the accumulation. The weight of the heavy, wet snow, compounded by wind gusts reaching 45 miles per hour, has taken a devastating toll on the region's power grid. National Grid reports that over 45,000 customers in Onondaga County are currently without electricity. Repair efforts are severely hampered by the fact that utility trucks cannot navigate the unplowed side streets. "We have crews positioned from as far away as Pennsylvania and Massachusetts," said a spokesperson for National Grid. "But until the wind dies down and the snow bands shift, it is simply too dangerous to put technicians in buckets to repair downed lines." Syracuse Hancock International Airport has canceled all flights through Saturday evening, with the runways rendered invisible by the blowing snow. Similarly, Amtrak service through the William F. Walsh Regional Transportation Center has been suspended indefinitely after a train became lodged in a massive drift near East Syracuse. Emergency services have been pushed to the limit. The Syracuse Fire Department has resorted to using snowmobiles and specialized tracked vehicles to reach residents reporting medical emergencies. At Upstate University Hospital, staff who finished their shifts 24 hours ago remain on site, as their replacements are unable to travel to the facility. Despite the peril, the Syracuse spirit remains resilient. Stories have emerged of neighbors using industrial-grade snowblowers to clear paths for elderly residents and Syracuse Snow Angels, volunteer groups, organizing via social media to check on the vulnerable. However, the danger is far from over. The National Weather Service has issued a warning regarding roof loading. With nearly 6 feet of snow sitting atop structures, there are growing fears of roof collapses, particularly for older residential buildings and commercial warehouses. Climate scientists point to the lack of ice cover on Lake Ontario as a primary driver for this event. In decades past, the lake would have partially frozen by early January, limiting the moisture available for lake-effect snow, says Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a climatologist at Syracuse University. In 2026, the lake temperature is 3 degrees above the historical average. It's acting like a massive steam engine, fueling these snow bands with endless moisture. The National Weather Service predicts that the lake effect band will finally begin to oscillate and weaken by Sunday morning. However, a secondary clipper system is expected to arrive shortly after, bringing sub-zero temperatures that will turn the slushy remains into solid ice.
It's not as bad as we've seen it. Conditions are...
For now, the city of Syracuse remains a quiet, buried kingdom. The hum of the city has been replaced by the roar of the wind and the occasional scrape of a shovel. As the Salt City waits for the sky to clear, the focus remains on survival and the monumental task of digging out from a winter that has already made history. Meanwhile, the city of Buffalo, a region legendary for its fortitude in the face of winter, is currently reeling from what atmospheric scientists are labeling a supercell lake effect event. As of the evening of January 2nd, 2026, the Queen City and its southern suburbs are entombed under a snowpack that has reached staggering heights, paralyzing the second-largest city in New York State and prompting a federal emergency mobilization. The crisis was ignited on December 30th, 2025, when a deep tropospheric cold pool migrated from central Canada directly over the Great Lakes. While the air temperature plummeted to -15 degrees Celsius 5 degrees Fahrenheit, the waters of Lake Erie remained anomalously warm, sitting at 4 degrees Celsius 39 degrees Fahrenheit due to a record-breaking mild autumn. This extreme temperature differential created a localized but violent atmospheric instability. A singular, stationary band of snow, measuring only 15 miles wide but stretching 100 miles long, locked into place over the South towns, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, and Lackawanna. For 48 consecutive hours, this snow fire hose discharged precipitation at a rate of 5 to 7 inches per hour, accompanied by frequent thundersnow and lightning strikes. According to the National Weather Service station at Buffalo-Niagara International Airport, the official snowfall total has reached 74.2 inches as of 6 p.m. today. This eclipses the previous multi-day record set in 2022 and 2014. In South Buffalo, unofficial spotter reports indicate localized drifts exceeding 12 feet where wind gusts of 50 miles per hour have scoured the landscape. "We are no longer measuring snow in inches," said Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars during an emergency broadcast from the county's Emergency Operations Center. "We are measuring it in feet and by the weight it imposes on our infrastructure. This is a life-threatening event. If you are on the roads, you are not only risking your life but also blocking the path for emergency responders who are trying to reach those in cardiac arrest or with failing heating systems." The New York State Thruway, I-90, has been closed from Rochester to the Pennsylvania border. Hundreds of motorists who ignored early warnings found themselves stranded as the whiteout conditions reduced visibility to zero. State troopers and National Guard units have spent the last 24 hours conducting grid searches on the highway, using snowmobiles to rescue trapped drivers. The Buffalo-Niagara International Airport remains shuttered. Ground crews reported that the snow was falling faster than the heavy-duty blowers could clear it, leading to a total suspension of operations. Meanwhile, the Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority has suspended all bus and rail services, leaving thousands of commuters stranded. Unlike the dry, powdery snow often seen in the Midwest, this lake-effect snow is heart attack snow, heavy, wet, and incredibly dense. The sheer weight has caused dozens of roof collapses across the region. A major distribution warehouse in Cheektowaga reportedly suffered a partial roof failure early this morning. Fortunately, no injuries were reported as the building had been evacuated. National Grid and NYSEG report that approximately 62,000 customers are without power. The outages are largely due to tree loading, where snow-laden branches snap and take down primary distribution lines. Our biggest challenge isn't the repairs themselves. a National Grid foreman explained. It's getting to the poles. Even our tracked vehicles are getting stuck in the drifts. In neighborhoods like Lackawanna, residents have been forced to exit their homes through second-story windows after snow completely blocked their front doors. The Buffalo Fire Department has received hundreds of calls for CO2 alarms as furnace vents become clogged by rising snowbanks, leading to a dangerous buildup of carbon monoxide inside homes. Despite the dire circumstances, the City of Good Neighbors has lived up to its name. Local restaurants that remained powered have been preparing thousands of gallons of soup for emergency workers. On social media, Buffalo snow response groups have become a lifeline, coordinating wellness checks for the elderly and mapping out homes that require urgent shoveling for medical access. Meteorologists are pointing to the 2026 storm as a clear indicator of shifting climate patterns. Historically, Lake Erie would begin to freeze in late December, which acts as a cap that prevents lake effect snow. However, in 2026, the lake is wide open. As long as the lake remains unfrozen, it acts as an infinite moisture source, says Dr. Sarah Jenkins, a researcher at the University at Buffalo. With global temperatures rising, we expect these high-intensity, short-duration events to become the new normal for Western New York. We are seeing more moisture in the atmosphere, which translates to these catastrophic totals. Governor Kathy Hochul has requested a federal disaster declaration from the White House to unlock FEMA funds. Buffalo is a resilient city, but the scale of this storm requires every resource at our disposal, Hochul stated. She has deployed an additional 500 National Guard members to assist with shovel-outs and door-to-door welfare checks. The immediate concern for Sunday and Monday is a predicted thermal swing. Temperatures are expected to rise to 45 degrees Fahrenheit 7 degrees Celsius by Tuesday, accompanied by heavy rain. This creates a secondary crisis. The combination of melting 6-foot snowpacks and heavy rain could overwhelm the city's aging sewer systems and cause the Buffalo and Cayuga Creeks to overflow their banks. As the snow bands finally begin to drift northward toward Niagara Falls, a new fear is emerging: a rapid thaw. Forecasts for early next week suggest a sharp rise in temperature accompanied by rain. Given the nearly 7 feet of snow currently on the ground, the risk of catastrophic urban flooding is high. We are preparing for a dual disaster scenario, said Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars. First we dig out, then we sandbag. While the Buffalo strong spirit is evident in the thousands of neighbors sharing food and digging each other out, the psychological toll of the storm is profound. The city is now facing a dual crisis: a massive physical cleanup and a collective mourning for those lost. Mayor Byron Brown has announced that a memorial service will be held once the city's infrastructure is stabilized. Buffalo has a big heart, and that heart is heavy today, he said. We lost fathers, mothers, and children to this blizzard. We will honor them by making sure we learn every possible lesson from this catastrophe.